Back when I used to put out more relationship-based content, I used to get this question asked more frequently than not. The question was, are there any good men out there? Or are there any good women out there? And my answer was always the same. Absolutely, there are good women and good men out there. As a matter of fact, they're right outside your door. Like right outside, right here. If you open the door, there's going to be at least one or two of them. Okay, probably one of them out there, right? Now you may think to yourself, that sounds ridiculous. I have never found them. I know everybody in the city, everybody in the town. I done been on 150 days. Ain't nobody out here that really is serious about a healthy, growth-based, dynamic relationship, right? I'm not talking about the little Pookie and Craig type of relationships, the little throwaway relationships. I'm not talking about, the Shanae or Becky type of relationships. I'm talking about a real, stable relationship. And I say, yes, they're outside your door. But the reason why you are not attracting that relationship into your life, keyword attracting, is because you are not yet that individual who will attract that individual into your life. You're not yet that person who will attract that person that is your equivalent. And that's a hard message to hear, but I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to tell it as it is. So I said the word attract, right? Because we are, in this life, magnets of exactly what we are. The law of vibration is real. The law of attraction is real. This is universal principle. And it does not care whether or not you believe in it. It doesn't care whether or not you like how it rolls. It is going to work like clockwork, same way gravity does. So you think to yourself, well, I'm this person. I've been working on myself. I've been doing this, that, and the third, but yet I'm not attracting that person. I say, guess what? Your results are literally your indicator of whether or not you actually believe that you are deserving of that relationship. Right? Your true belief system is always going to be echoed in your life experience. If you look at your bank account right now, it is a reflection of who you believe you are in context to money. I had to be very honest with myself. When I was looking in there and seeing withdrawals or close to withdrawals, overdrawn, past drawn, drawn. When I was looking at them type situations, I could only point at myself. That was my belief of what I deserved I could have. And once I started working on my money consciousness, once I started to work on my deservingness, my adequacy, my worthiness, once I started working on those aspects, things started changing, and things have been changing ever since. And so I say this not to disempower you or to make you feel like you're being shamed or blamed, but instead to give you back your power. Somebody told you that it was outside of your control, when in truth, it is really within you. Literally, it's within you, right? Everything that you need is within you. If you are able to cultivate these aspects of yourself, if you're able to let go of that past programming, if you're able to tap into that space of abundance, you ain't gonna have no problem attracting that beautiful dynamic relationships. Trust me, you will have no problem in attracting that relationship that you say you desire. But when you start to unpack and peel back the layers and really look at your true belief systems, you will start to see that, wait a minute, maybe I don't believe what I think I believe. Maybe I do believe that I am not deserving of this true, genuine love. Maybe I believe that I'm only deserving of a conditional love when I'm doing things for people. Aquarius, I'm just saying. That's why I found myself, maybe I believe that I'm only worthy of people's attention and affection when I'm doing something for them, Aquarius. So you really have to start to investigate, and you have to do so honestly. Like, I know we don't like to take responsibility and accountability in 2023. I know it's not popular. It's not cool to do so. I know we love to blame. It's him. It's her. It's the guys. It's the girls. It's the people in between. Guess what? The longer that we hang out in that space, the longer that we're going to stay destitute. We're going to stay separated from the very things that we claim that we desire for our lives. And I'm not saying this for any other reason than I genuinely desire us to have healthy, cohesive relationships. If I can give you the message of truth, then I know that when I go out there, I'm going to have better experiences with people, right? The people around me are having amazing experiences. When everybody can have dynamic, wonderful, healthy relationships, then guess what? We have a healthier society. We have a beautiful community abroad, worldwide. That's what I'm looking for, right? So when I go out there and meet Miss whoever it is, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a beautiful situation because she knows that she's in control of her own state of consciousness and her own life experience, and so am I. And so we're not going into a relationship blaming one another for being the reason, for this thing not working out or falling apart. Oh, this person, see, I knew they were faking who they really were. This person right here is controlling. Well, guess what? If you believe that you are not deserving of a certain type of individual, or that you are deserving a certain type of treatment, or you are coming from a fear state of consciousness, you are going to continue to attract those fear-based situations and circumstances into your life. I know that ego of yours, that ego of mine, does not want to hear this damn message. It wants to cancel this message. It wants to call this victim blaming and victim shaming. It wants to call this anything besides the truth, because it wants to blame. It does not want responsibility. It wants to look out and have everybody else change while I stay the exact same. Like, think about how crazy that is. I get into a multitude of relationships. Let's say I got into 10 relationships with 10 different people, and all of them were the exact same. And I'm going to be crazy enough to blame the people. I'm going to be crazy enough to say, well, look at them. I just keep dating the same person over and over. There must be something about this dating pool. No, it's not about the damn dating pool. It's about the people that you are bringing into your experience and keeping in your experience. When you walk in a room and there's 100 people there, you're attracted to, let's say, 10% of them. But there's one person in specific that you are just completely drawn to. And you think, oh, it's because they're so fine, they're so this, they're so that. But in reality, you're actually drawn to their energy. And it's not always their good energy, because you might have an energy that says, ooh, well, I'm clingy and I got attachment issues. Ooh, and they're emotionally distant. That might be the energy that you're feeling, because that's a perfect match. The person that runs and the person that chases. The person that runs and the person that chases is a perfect match. They are simpatico. So you might be looking at that person like, ooh, he is fine. God dang, she is bad. But internally, what you're actually seeing is, ooh, there's somebody who can fulfill this narrative that I have about myself. Ooh, there's somebody who fits right into the story I've been telling myself about myself for all my life. I mean, think about it. If you grew up in a household where you saw, abuse between your parents, or abuse between whatever relationship that dynamic there was, don't you think it's going to be natural that you will think that that's what love looks like? And so you will not only internalize that abuse, but you will start to manifest it into your own relationships, believing that that's what you're deserving of. Again, it's not always easy. As a matter of fact, it isn't easy looking at yourself from this perspective, saying, I am the one who is holding on to these characteristics and attributes, and therefore that's what I will accept. That's what I will permit into my life experience. I can only permit into my life from others what I am already accepting from myself. Every time. If I am abusive towards myself, I will welcome abuse from others. If I am loving towards myself, I will accept nothing more than that love. If I am respectful towards myself, I will expect respect, but I will also exude that respect, right? I'm not going to withhold anything. I'm just going to live in my space of respect, and anything that doesn't match it is going to be falling out of your experience. I've been living that. The last 2.5 years of my life have literally been just an exemplification of just people and things falling that ain't supposed to be there. And the more I fall in love with my own life experience, the more I feel my deep, genuine deservedness of the goodness of life, the more I dwell in that place, the more everything else falls away. That doesn't match, falls away, that doesn't vibrate at the very same frequency. It falls away. And you're over here busy thinking, oh man, I can't believe they left. Like, no, you should be thankful that they left. You should be thankful that certain people are leaving your experience, especially when you're in a state of growth, when you're in a state of healing, getting back to that place of wholeness. When you lose people in that state, that is the greatest indicator that there is a true shift that is taking place in you. So stop trying to run back to what you're comfortable with and allow yourself to sit your butt right here in the experience that is unfolding. This is a new season for you to cultivate a new version of yourself. So when you do go out into the world, you're not needy and desperate, right? I'll be honest. I'm an alien, right? When it comes to relationships, and every relationship I've ever had was a person I met in person, right? I've never used a date. Well, I had a dating app at like 21, 22 years old, and I literally had it for 12 hours. And immediately I was like, I can't do this. I started seeing people as like swipeable faces in the street. It got weird. So 12 hours in, I deleted it, never had it ever since, right? Every person I met is in person because I need the energy. I need the vibe. I need it to be that. But one thing I see in that world is, you might meet your soulmate on there. It might be all that and some. But one thing I see is there's a lot of desperate energy. It's like the club, right? It's not that you're not gonna meet your husband or your wife at the club. It's just most people are there with such a thirsty, desperate energy. They're coming there because they want something as opposed to wanting to give something, wanting to build something, right? How many people are going to a club to meet somebody that they can build with? Really think about that. Numbers wise, I ran the numbers close to zero, right? However, when you're going about life and you meet individuals, it's going to be the clearest representation, especially when you're in that high vibrational state. It's going to be the clearest representation of the people that are truly in your energetic field. And don't be so damn desperate. Don't be so quick to jump into stuff, right? There's no need for a rush. If you feel lonely, that's an indicator that you need to work on that aspect. You need to go within and find that sense of connectiveness within yourself. You're not lonely because you don't have people around you. You can surround yourself with people and still be lonely as hell. You've been in relationships where you felt so lonely. You felt like you were alone in that relationship. So you really have to start to investigate, what is it that I'm seeking from others and wanting from others or feeling I'm lacking, and really start to meet those within yourself, or to realize that they're just perceived needs and they're not actually voids or gaps, but you already have that within yourself. And that sometimes can be the longest journey in life. They say the journey from the head to the heart can be the longest journey you ever travel in this life. But I promise you, it is a journey worth traveling every single time. So, as we wrap up, I want to plug in my very first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free, Breaking Free from People Pleasing and Unleashing Your True Personal Power. So make sure to get your copy. It's going to be a smaller one, by the way. It's going to be one that you can put in your bag, purse, etc. Normal size. This is just my little manuscript version, the first prints that I had. Just so I could do my little thug thizzle. But for everybody else, make sure to get yourself a copy of one of those. I will leave the link in the description. I don't know what it is with that damn tongue twister. I will leave the link to the book in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Peace.